The fact that the titles of 2 of her previous novels contained the word girl was decided, after much discussion, to be a non-issue, even a boon. I continued to call my parents every Sunday. Conversations that increasingly became exercises in dissembling. I told them I'd begun attending yoga classes in the evenings. "That's wonderful, sweetheart," my mother said. "Yoga is supposed to be great for your alignment," my father said. I'd intended to convince them, but was still irritated by how easily they'd been fooled. The reality was that my evenings were now almost wholly devoted to Clive. I would linger around the little suite until he departed, then follow him. Clive Richardson, I learned quickly, was a walker. He might stroll for an hour, even 2, before heading home. When he reached his brick apartment building, I waited until a light on the 4th floor turned on, and then, some 20 or 30 minutes later, turned off again. Only then did I make my own way home. On my walk back, I would realize that I was soaked in sweat. I was terrified as I followed Clive, of being seen, of what I might see. But it was a terror that held itself at bay until I was away from him, when it came over me all at once. On these walks, I experienced what might be described as a state of hypervigilance. I attended to every detail, every movement, searching for any scrap that might provide insight into the man Clive Richardson was and the secrets he was guarding. What ought I to make of the routes he chose, or of the way he scuffed his black loafers against the pavement? Back at my apartment, late at night, I would try to get myself to read through the mounting backlog of manuscripts in my work inbox, but I quickly found myself lost in imaginative labor. What did he think about before he fell asleep? What was in his refrigerator? What did his bedroom look like? I pictured a stark, simple room, a rough-hewn wood floor, a simple twin bed, a small wicker chair. This mental picture had arrived fully formed, which I took as a testament to my imaginative powers. A few years later, on a visit to the Orsay, I would realize that the image was not even mine. It was Bedroom in Arles, Vincent van Gogh. It wasn't only Clive's actions I attended to. Everything I passed seemed anointed by his presence. Graffiti on a brick wall. "Rochelle, marry me." A man in a Dastar selling incense on a street corner. A fruit stand with a handwritten cardboard sign. Bananas, 4 for $1. The sweet and sour rivulets of liquid eroding the sidewalk in front of a halal butcher. Did he notice these things? If he did, what did they make him think, want, remember? Clive's world became my evidence. A rush of details, almost unbearably vivid. The landscape infused by a sense of the significance of all things. From Secrets on Faraway K, Dateline, July 12, 1996. Jane Pauley. You worked in security at Indigo Bay. Harold Moses. Nods.
For 7 years, during which time I was Employee of the Month on 4 occasions.
Jane Pauley. You saw Allison Thomas on the night of her death? Harold Moses.
I certainly did, Miss Pauley.
Jane Pauley. Tell me about that. Harold Moses. Sips coffee.
It was 8 p.m. I know so because I just returned from my toilet break, which I take nightly at 7:40 p.m. precisely. It does take me longer now.
Grins.
I was doing my rounds. By the swimming pool, I see the girl dipping she toe in the water.
Jane Pauley. Did you say anything to her? Harold Moses. Shakes head.
I didn't want to disturb she. She appeared quite peaceful. Like she was having some special time to herself. I saw clearly she had a sweet soul.
Jane Pauley. What happened next? Harold Moses. Shakes head sadly.
She walked away, over to the bar. This is the last time I see she, but everybody...